Darren here, and today's episode on WotC Academy is going to be about the lines of battle that you may see in a standard usual game. This has been brought up because of a couple questions and topics brought up on various social media sites over the past couple days regarding things about people being upset of tanks camping in the back or not supporting the team, or just basically opinions that may or may not be um, uninformed or unaware of the certain uh, lines that naturally exist on the battlefield in this game. So that's what we're going to cover today, is the three main battle lines that you'll find in the game. The front line, the secondary line slash tertiary line, and then the rear. So let's get started. So looking at this map that I have prepared here, I have pretty much outlined each battle line with various colors. And as you can see here, just for the simple example of easily explaining what I'm talking about here, I have pretty much had a very hypothetical, unlikely battle across the wide open plain right there on steps, just to make the diagram easy. So on the left we have the enemy team, and then on the right, all in green, is your team. As you can see here, the first battle line we're going to talk about is the red one, or other known as the front line. Now, the front line is basically the line where you are right in front of the enemy. You are directly responsible for grabbing the enemy's attention and be as close to them as possible. And you are basically right there in front of them, brawling, trading HP, dishing it out, and absorbing it. So that way, the weaker tanks or less armored, more flexible and maneuverable tanks can sneak around and try and get various angles on the enemy while their attention is focused on you. Now, moving on to the secondary or tertiary line, we have it in green. This is like one of the biggest lines because this is where you don't really have the focus of the enemy's attention, because they're more focused on the tanks right in their face. Because the tanks right in their face have the easier shots than the tanks in the second line. The tanks in the second line are using cover and taking advantage of opportunities provided by the tanks on the front line. There is really no distance outborders or anything regarding exactly what is the second line. This is just kind of dictated naturally. So keep that in mind, that it could be as big or small depending on the environment, the situation, and the battle overall. And tanks that you'll find here generally tend to be the flexible NATO medium tanks that are able to, that have good accuracy, good maneuverability, even some more brawlable or aggressive types of TDs, or even light tanks will be back there providing support because they're weakly armored. But that's where you'll tend to see the be floating around in the second and tertiary line. Moving on to the rear, or what some people may call the third line. The third line is essentially made up of tanks that have pretty good stealth, or are not suited at all to be in the secondary line or the front line. And these tend to be very lightly armored tanks, tank destroyers, and artillery. This is like the second biggest line, because this is pretty much you are safe from being shot at, because you won't be spotted unless, of course, an enemy light tank rushes into your position, or the front line and secondary line fail and you are now the front line. But pretty much what you'll find back here are the artillery and the lightly armored tank destroyers, using their camo and extreme accuracy. But I hope that explained very much how the battle lines are. Again, these things naturally form during the course of a battle end game. So while you may see someone that isn't exactly on the front line, but they're not way in the back of the map either, more than likely they are supporting the front line by staying in the back because they may not be statistically suitable for being on the front line. But again, that pretty much sums up the battle lines that you'll find in the game. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.